Here we have verse 7 of the 9th chapter of the Gospel of John. Jesus and the disciples have encountered a blind man. They've had a brief discussion about the theology of catastrophes such as this, but now Jesus moves on to the real point of this story, which was the healing, in which he makes a little mud out of clay from the dirt in which he spat, and then he puts it on the man's eyes, and from there we have the instruction that he gives. So we have kai and the connective apen. This is the third person singular, aorist active indicative, second aorist of lego, and he said, auto. The dative, singular, masculine, he said to him, hupage. This is from hupago, usually means to go away, to leave in some sense or other. This is the second person singular, perfect active imperative, so it's a command, go, nipsai, and this is also in the imperative. This is the second person singular, aorist, middle imperative. The middle voice would usually convey the idea of doing something to yourself or for yourself, so that's what's implied here. Go and wash yourself is the idea. It's from the verb nipto, which means to wash. Go and wash. Ace, preposition, takes the accusative. Tain, feminine, accusative article. The kolumbathron. This is the word for a pool. It could actually be a swimming pool. It could be a pretty good sized pool. This is actually a known location, of course, in the Holy Land. If you visited there, you've probably had an opportunity to visit. So go and wash in the pool to Siloam, of Siloam. And then John gives us this little explanatory comment, the relative pronoun ho, hermeneutai. Hermeneutai is the third person singular, perfect passive indicative, which is known as, or by interpretation, our word hermeneutics from this, apostomenos, which means sent from apostello. This is the perfect passive participle, masculine, singular, nominative. So it's by interpretation means sent. Many, of course, have drawn from this the inference that this is some kind of reflection back on Jesus himself. The very reason that John mentions it suggests that the fact that Jesus sends this man to the pool, and the pool is entitled sent, and Jesus himself would often describe himself as sent, is somehow part of the subtlety of the story to suggest that it as we obey being sent, that there is a blessing that ensues. And that may very well be part of the reason John includes that. So, apeothen, third person singular, aorist active indicative, he went, aperkamai, of course, went away, therefore, kai, connective, and enipsato, again from the same verb we have here, nipsai, this is nipto, to wash, he went, and wash, this is the third person singular, aorist middle indicative, washed himself would be the idea, kai, connective, aelphin, third person singular, aorist active indicative, and came, blepon, and came, of course, seeing, the perfect active participle, masculine, singular, nominative, he came seeing, from blepo. So the man obeys. Jesus did an odd little thing. He puts some mud on his eyes, tells him to go and wash in the pool that means sent. He obeys the command, going and doing so, and comes again seeing. And of course, this is going to give rise to a rather extensive conversation and indeed conflict that will ensue as a result of this miracle that Jesus performed.